Hello everybody. Right, welcome back to another video, come bearing gifts. I actually decided to buy some cauliflowers from a garden centre. I kind of had this in my plan anyway, just because they're pretty cheap getting them from the garden centre, and fingers crossed it's a variety that's going to grow a big head. Whereas like some of the seed varieties, I don't know, I'll have to try like so many different varieties before I find the one that's like really good. Oh god. They got eaten again. And I've just noticed as well my Swiss chard has now been munched, but I do have a second pot. Let's sort that out in a minute. I do also have a cold, just FYI. I bought some Nicotiana. I've never grown this before, and I just bought it off a whim. I thought the flowers, I mean, the pinks are quite pretty, but they come a lot in white as well. I think this is probably quite a short variety, whereas the white ones are quite big. They get to 4 or 5 foot tall. So I don't really have a plan with those, but I bought some, so I'll have to find a spot. Quite a lot of stuff's grown. Oh, I'm just looking at a seed tray that nothing's come up in. Oh, actually, we've got one little thing. We've got one zinnia coming up. One zinnia there, but nothing else has come up yet, which is a bit odd. They're damp, so I'll just give them another water today and hope they come up, but we are not having good luck in this greenhouse so far. I do think it's mice, but this doesn't. Yeah, that does look like a mouse. That's not. Oops. I don't think it's slug damage. It's way too hot in here and dry for it to be slugs. We've still had no rain since. I don't know why I'm like crouching awkwardly. We've still had no rain since the last time I was here. Pull up there. Hope I don't forget. Yeah, we've had no rain, which is a bit concerning. But one thing, it's really keeping the slugs away, which is good. So I don't know if I'm going to pot these cauliflowers up into slightly bigger pots for now and try and keep them protected, or if I'm going to plant them straight out. I just don't want to risk them being in this hot greenhouse for too long, because they're not going to enjoy that. I did buy some shading for the greenhouse, which I'm going to try and pot up that side, only because it gets way too hot in here. Everything dries out way too quickly, which is a bit of a problem, like in the summer. Okay, let's get started. I've got potatoes to plant. What else did I want to do? I need to sow my carrots, sow my parsnips. I want to sow my sweet corn indoors, not outdoors. I'm not risking the mice. They would love that. And then plant the cabbages. I'll give you some little updates on the other seedlings and stuff. And then we will... What else? There's something else I wanted to do. But yeah, we're just going to wander around and just do stuff as and when it comes up. Cool. This is the lettuce, and it's growing really quickly. One, because it's very hot in this greenhouse, so it's going to absolutely be shooting up. And two, I don't know what two is. They're just doing really well. And then just next to it, we've got the marigolds, which are doing really, really well. They're actually coming in with their first set of true leaves already. So they're probably going to end up overtaking the ones I've got indoors, to be honest. And then just here, you can just see the basil starting to come up. So things are growing. I'm probably going to prick that lettuce out maybe today. And then I've got all my kale, which is doing really well. Really, really good. Right, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is sow my potatoes, plant my potatoes. So what variety have I got? King Edward. This is main crop variety, so it's not going to be ready till midsummer, late summer, probably midsummer. I have left them chitting on the windowsill, just in the bag, so they've actually got some pretty good chits on them. How many have I got? I split these with my brother, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that'll probably just be 1 row, maybe 2 rows, but yeah, they're doing pretty well. There's only got 1 chit on it actually. If they all only got 1 each, I've got to be very gentle not to snap that off. But yeah, I need to prepare the area first. I'm probably going to plant these closer to the fence. So where I've kind of put the seed trays on to stop the weeds from coming up. I don't know how successful it's been. So I'm going to prepare the area, dig in some. I brought a big bag of manure from B&Q. So it's well rotted down, it's ready to dig in. So I think I'll do that first, and then we'll see where we go, see how we get on, see if we find anything nice. My clematis is growing really nicely. I think I showed a little clip in the beginning, but I'll show another clip now. It's grown a few inches since the other day, and it's looking really pretty. It's in flower, so I'll show you a bit more of that. And my parsley is just getting huge. I keep meaning to harvest it. I want to cut it all down and just dry it rather than leaving it in here. It's taking up way too much space. It's quite a nice feature in here though, so I'm leaving it for, well, I was going to say I'm leaving it for now, but I'm not trying to leave it for now. Cool. Okay, let's get on with the potatoes. I think I've planted these a little bit late compared to a lot of other people, but I don't think it's really going to make much of a difference. Cool. Let's get started. Right, so let's remove these. These are just grow trays. Oh, there's actually some potatoes coming up in here. Oh, there's loads of potatoes coming up. Okay, interesting. Do I just leave them or do I? So I didn't properly harvest my potatoes last year because I dug up a few and they just didn't. Oh, this has worked perfectly for slug and snail traps. Let me put that to one side and sort those out in a minute, off camera. I didn't dig up my potatoes properly last year because I dug up a couple and they just hadn't grown any. Obviously, I didn't dig up that row, which is a little bit of a problem. Right, let's. Oh, this is. I'm wondering whether I leave them in and let them grow. Oh, I've got strawberries coming up everywhere. Oh god. Potato. So many weeds. Oh, I really didn't dig up my potatoes last year. Probably still okay to eat. Well, that one's looks like it's already been eaten. Okay, I'm gonna dig up the whole thing. Right, we've got loads of weeds in here too, so we'll dig those out. Potato. Grasses. I think this is going to be a good one. Oh god. So they're definitely no good to eat. But look at all these potatoes I missed. It's okay, right. Oh. I really should just leave these in to grow, shouldn't I? Okay, well, maybe if I want to do a second row, I'll plant some back in. Okay, so the majority of the snails and slugs are kind of hiding next to the wall here. So I'm going to make sure I weed this properly and try and keep on top of it so that we don't get hiding spaces for the snails. There you go, there's 2 snails. Oh, that one's already broken. Yeah, okay, cool. There's just so many perennial weeds. Because I didn't really keep on top of these potatoes very well last year, so that'll be why. Let's get all this out. I'm going to give this a rake over after, just to get all these bits out. Okay. Potatoes. Right, okay, I've got the majority of the weeds out. I'm just going to try and rake up some of this. And then I'm going to dig in a bag of compost or manure. A couple of potatoes I'm kind of like not worried about digging out, just because I've only got 7 potatoes anyway. So it might be nice to have a few extras. God, these weeds. A tip about these perennial weeds, if you kind of leave them somewhere dry, like on top of something that doesn't get wet, what am I trying to say? So like somewhere they're not in contact with soil, then they just dry up and die. Whereas if you just chuck them in your compost bin, they are just going to grow back. Cool. Okay, right. Let's dig in some manure. Maybe you just try and do 1 row, honestly, because then it leaves me some space for some other stuff. So maybe I will dig these potatoes out. But okay, ordinarily I'd kind of try and rip up the top of the bag so that you can use it as a bin bag, but this one's already ripped all down the side. If you don't have a hori hori, I'd definitely recommend getting one. My brother got me this, and it is the tool that I use the most. It's like perfect for everything. Just be careful because they're obviously sharp. Okay. Oh god, so many weeds. Cool. Right. There we go. Where's the fork? Right, I'm going to spread this over, dig it in a bit. I'm not going to dig it in deep. I want to try and keep a lot of it closer to the surface. It's really going to help warm up the ground, which will get the potatoes up quicker. Okay. Oh god, weeds. Look at that. To be fair, they're not too bad, but they just grow so quick. Okay. Oh, that's a good potato. Okay, right. Let's try. Oh, another potato. Let's try and flatten this out. There we go. Okay. So last year I didn't dig any organic matter into this bed. Yeah, no, I didn't. Which is kind of why I thought the potatoes didn't do very well, which definitely would be part of the reason. However, we've kind of come to learn that the potatoes did do better than I thought they did. There's a conker. Yeah, I just didn't dig them out. Don't really know why. Okay, cool. But let me place out. Oh god, I'm treading on them. I don't know if you can even see me. Right. Just gonna place them out. Kind of a foot between. Oh, I will do 2 rows actually. But I'll do the rows kind of close to each other. Oh. I don't have enough potatoes. Okay, I'll do 2 rows like that, but they're kind of like there's only 3 in there, and then there's 4 here. I think that'd be fine. Okay, and because I've just dug this over, It'll go nice and easy. And because the organic matter is dark, it's going to absorb the heat a lot better. It's also going to retain moisture a lot better. So this area here that I've dug is going to be probably only a couple of degrees warmer than the earth here, which is really going to make the potatoes grow quicker. So if you've got like clay dirt, you're really going to want to dig in a lot of organic matter and really dig it in, because then that will just kind of boost you a little earlier in the year for your crop. Especially if it's wet. If it's wet and clay, it's going to be really cold soil, so it's not going to grow quickly. But this is looking really good. I've got like a chalky, loamy soil here, so it's very dusty and not very deep. So organic matter is really going to be worth the investment, especially if you're staying in that house or that garden or that allotment for many, many years. Okay. This is just going to be an ongoing process of getting rid of these weeds. Right. Right, and then I'm going to give them a good water and mark out where they are. I've still got the tags from last year, so I'm just going to use those. Cool. Lovely. This looks really good. Oh my god, this is not the most practical watering can. I'm going to be here forever. Okay. Let's give them a little bit more like this. There we go. Okay. I'll give it a good proper watering after this with a different can, but I just thought this looked nicer. Oh. Okay. I'll probably expect to see them coming up within 2 weeks. Maybe a little bit sooner with this heat. Oh, okay. Okay, right, that's one job. Oh, I need a rest. I really need to get these weeds out of this bed. I've got so many strawberry plants everywhere. And I've got some Scotch thistles. I don't know if you can actually see them. Scotch thistles there, which are biennials. They did all the growing last year. They're going to flower this year. I don't want them to flower there, so I need to move them. Ideally, I should have moved them in the winter, but I don't know where they're going to go. Right, okay. Ooh. I need to sow my carrots and parsnips. Maybe I'll do that now. Whilst I'm standing right here, my banana is really trying to tell me that it needs to be unwrapped. It is growing like crazy. Yeah, look. It's growing like a foot just inside the wrapping. So let me wait until that annoying noise has stopped. And then I'll take the banana out of its wrap. So we actually had a really mild winter, a short winter, in the end, which it was perfect for the bananas. Where's my... Oh, I left all my stuff in the greenhouse. Let me try and get this off. And I think this... Oh, there we go. The wrapping technique I used with these old pots really held the frost fleece on really well. Oh wow, there you go, that was easy. Held it on really well. I say as it comes off, super easy. Look at that. Oh, it's lovely and dry. So that's going to grow a lot this year. Normally the end gets a bit tatty, where it's like, where the tip would have died, and then it kind of gets stuck shut. So I always rip off the tip. It just lets the leaf unfurl a lot easier. And then let's get this little one off, hopefully. There we go. Oops. Okay. Just going to check for slugs and snails because it's a good little spot to hide in. Okay, cool. Right, I'm going to leave all that around the base just because we probably... That looks disgusting. We might get 1 or 2 frosts. I don't think we will, but we might. So, perfect. So it's like already my height, which means hopefully this year it's going to get to 10 foot, 10, 12 foot, hopefully. That'll be really cool. Okay. Cool. That was easy. Just rip part of it off. There you go. So it's going to unfurl a bit easier. And this is really what you want to see. You want to see nice, like, dry stems, so it's not rotted in the winter. Stayed quite dry. And the base is really nice and firm. Perfect. Also, my Swiss chards are coming back with vengeance. Oh, I probably will get rid of these 2, but maybe I'll get rid of these 2 once my seedlings have got a bit bigger to like a harvestable size. Because all this new growth here is perfect for eating. It's just actually a bit of a snail nursery by the looks of it, but I'm not in a rush to dig those out. Same with the dandelions as well. That's a really good source of like early pollen and nectar for the bees, so I'm going to leave that. Right, these little seedlings are drying out quite quickly because of the heat. I've opened all the greenhouse windows and vents. Actually, there's a vent under there that I've not opened. But let's give these some water. And then I might prick them out later once the day starts cooling down a bit. Because if I'm pricking out during the heat of the day, I'm going to damage all those roots. And then they will probably struggle today. They'll end up wilting quite bad. So I'm just going to wait until we get the cooler evening. Oh God, I'm really struggling. Okay, cool. Right. Maybe I might pot up these into slightly bigger pots. One of them's wilting, the poor guy. I'll pot these up into bigger pots now, and then I'll do that outside. Let's get outside. It's too hot in here. And then we can, yeah. So the parsnips, carrots, give them good water. I think we'll be all right. What a lovely day. Let me show you my euphorbias actually. My euphorbias, they're kind of Jamie's euphorbias, but they're all looking so good at the moment. Let me go show you. So we've got this little dry garden down by the house. Down by the house sounds so weird. Down the hill by the house, where we've got these euphorbias that are all in flower. I nearly just broke that. And they're looking so good. This is obviously not euphorbia. What is this? This is... okay, it's that. But yeah, we've got this nice dry area. So these are actually kind of looking like they're finishing, but we've just got a nice collection. There's another one coming up there. Oh. There are all sorts of noises going on at the moment, and I kind of think it's unavoidable because it's a nice sunny Saturday. But these little primulas have spread like crazy, and there's like huge clumps that I could probably divide. I won't bother because they're just spreading by themselves. So this is Primula vulgaris. This is like the native variety we get. I did add some cowslips. What's the... I don't know the name for those. It's another Primula. I added some of those through here. Probably won't flower this year, but hopefully next year we'll have some taller ones, and it'll look really pretty. I did put some crocuses and daffodils in here, and they just did. They've gone to leaf, but they've not flowered. But yeah, really pretty. Right, I've just come indoors to get out of that heat for a minute, but I thought I'd give you a quick update on how my seedlings are growing indoors. I've just noticed that some of my marigolds could do a little bit of a water. Oh god, okay. Right, tomatoes. Oh, we've got a little flower. The tomatoes are doing really well. Ignore everything back there. Oh, dang it, I need... oh, this is terrible. Well, let me just leave them there. Right, the tomatoes are doing really well. Oh, these are doing really well. These are the morning glories. I've got 4 of those growing. Tomatoes are doing good. The peppers, I was actually going to potentially pot them up again, just once more before they go outside. Start to get a little bit of a flower. We do have something in here nibbling. I don't know what it is. I think it might be a miniature slug somewhere, but I sowed my cucumbers the other day, about a week and a half ago, and they're doing really well. God, I was really struggling. These are doing really good. 4 of them came up out of 5, which is not bad considering the seeds were like a pound each. But these are a female variety that should produce a lot of cucumbers. And then all of my tomatoes are doing really, really well. So I've got Alicante and beefsteak. I think these are the Alicante, and then these are the beefsteak. Germination's been really good, especially on the Alicante. All of them come up, and then this one I must have put 2 in. Whereas the beefsteak, I've only got, what is that, 6 out of 8, which is not bad considering I'm not, like, I kind of only grew these for, I'd give a couple to my mum, and I'll grow 1 or 2, but I don't know where they're going to go yet. And then I've got all my cosmos here, which need water as well, but these have come up really nicely. They did get a little leggy, which is surprising considering that they are just under the grow light. But they're doing really well. They've got their first sets of leaves coming through, and some of them actually didn't grow leggy. Like, this is fine. It's just once they get a bit hardened off with the movement and the weather outside, they'll be perfectly fine. And then, yeah, everything's doing good. I probably need to pot up these tomatoes as well into slightly bigger pots, but I'm not in a rush to do that. But yeah, I mean, I could do it today, but cool. Just thought I'd give you an overview. A lot of the stuff did fail, but completely down to me. Like the onions, I'm just not even going to bother with them. There's only 1 left, and It's not going to be there for very long. Cool. Yeah, they're all doing well. And you can see, look at the roots growing on the stem here. So I think when I pop this up, I will plant them slightly deeper. I've seen people say don't do that with peppers because then the plant is supplying a lot of its energy to growing the new roots. But I was just thinking, like, it's doing that anyway, and I mean, it's not gonna get into some sort of energy deficit because it's growing roots. These are doing really well. I don't know when I might put them out. The thing is, if I start putting stuff in the greenhouse, I just know that stuff like this is going to happen a lot more. So I don't really want to risk it, but yeah, cool. There's the seedlings, and I've got a few more downstairs. I'll maybe show you that now. So this is in the kitchen window with some of my succulents. But I've got my Allison that are coming up. They're doing well. Not many showed, to be honest. My sunflowers, these are a coastal variety of sunflower, so they're actually really small sunflowers, and they're doing pretty well. I need to pot them up separately soon. I did sow a whole tray of beetroots because all the beetroots outside have been eaten, and then I've just got here some my last remaining sweet peas. I've got last chance on there. Hopefully they'll come up pretty soon. Cucumber crystal lemons, sorry, and then a few nasturtium seeds. I just had a couple left over, so I've planted those. Yeah, not much showing yet, but I'm determined to get some beetroots. Parsnips and carrots. Cool. Oh, nearly forgot. Right, so I'm going to be growing them in the same bed that I grew them in last year. This bed has been dug over so many times by God knows what. That's a good point, actually. Maybe I won't use my hands. I did give it a bit of a water, but it's actually doesn't seem to have hydrated the soil very much. I'm just going to try and flatten it all out. Oh, label. I'll use that. Carrots and parsnips. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, there's a carrot in here still. A little purple carrot. And then let me relocate this arch to somewhere else. I don't know where. Temporarily over here. Let me lay it down, and I can think about that later. Get all those weeds out. Luckily, there's not too many weeds in here. I think I did weed this not that long ago, and the fact that it's so dry doesn't. I mean, does help. Okay. Just some weed seedlings and some baby leeks. Actually, that looks like a spring onion. Nope, there's a leek. I'm gonna leave these two leeks in here just for now. Just for now. Another baby carrot. Right, last year I did rows that way, but this year I'm thinking rows this way. Not for any particular reason other than it crossed my mind and I'm saying yes. Right, I'm trying to get this stuff out. The soil's really good, it's just quite dry. Very dry. Okay, right. Carrots and parsnips. And the carrots I'm growing is Garre. Never heard of it, but Let's hope they do well. I don't know. Oh, these must be the ones that I've sown in the greenhouse. That'll be why they're open. Okay. Right. Gonna sow them nice and shallow. And quite close together because they can really grow quite well close together. 3 rows, 4 rows. I'm going to move those leeks at some point. I don't know. Oh, you can't see them. They're just off frame, but there's leeks right there. Okay. Whoa. That was the whole pack. The carrots grew so well last year. I was really happy with them. I sow them quite thickly. Because by the time you've kind of harvested a few, it kind of breaks up some gaps for them to grow a bit better. And because obviously I don't harvest them all at the same time. I don't pick them all at once. There's only 2 of us living here, so we don't need that many. Cool. Okay, and hopefully these seeds are too small for the mice to see. Oh my god. I just spilled a whole pile of seeds right there. Right, and then the parsnips. Try and remember where I got up to with the carrots. I think I'm probably going to sow a few more parsnips than carrots because I bloody love good parsnips. And they grew so well last year, and it's the same variety, I'm pretty sure. There we go. I think parsnips do take quite a while to come up, but if I just keep them watered, hopefully we get some rain soon, otherwise this is going to be a disaster. Because I'll probably not be in here watering every day. In here, out here. Okay, parsnip seeds are quite a lot bigger than carrot seeds, so we're probably going to end up using all of these, which is fine because that is why I bought them. Also, these slightly thinner than the carrots, though. We'll try to. I say, oops, haven't done that yet, because they do actually get quite a bit bigger than the carrots do. But I don't want to sow them so thin that I don't have the option to prick them out. Here we go. I literally watered this a minute ago, just before because I wanted it to have some moisture in it, and it's so dry. I don't know where the water went. Not down. Cover them all up. I'm gonna have to be really gentle with the watering on this, otherwise they're just gonna wash away. Get that out like that is. There we go. Ooh. Ouch. Right, I'll try and give them a gentle. Oh god, this is not gentle. Yeah, come on. There we go. probably water these again before the end of the day, just because I know the soil is so dry. Got my little label here with the leeks. Probably going to try and use those leeks pretty soon. Oh, there's weeds. Yeah, look how dry that is under there. Okay, I'll do this a couple of times. Cool. I'll come back to this. Right, I'm thinking this size. Yeah, that should be fine. And then these are really starting to wilt. Can you see that? Especially this little guy here. So let's go get these repotted. Oh, I need to grab that bag of compost as well. Cool. Here we go. Right. Oh my god. It is so hot. It's lovely though. Right, let's get these off. Oops. Oh, this is still nice and moist. That's good. Damp. Cool. I'm just gonna do this really quick. No science to it. Oh. I'm so determined to grow good cauliflowers. I grew them really well once when I want to say kid, but I was probably about 16. And they did so well. Cool. Actually, this might be a bit of a challenge. Okay, that's not too bad. I'll give these a good water as soon as I'm done with them. Let me know how your tomatoes are doing, because mine, obviously you saw them, but they're very small so far. And I think that we're probably not going to get any late frosts. So I'm thinking a lot of people might be quite early with their tomatoes this year. And mine aren't late, but I guess it's just luck of the draw really on when the last frost is going to be. This is not working. Right. Let me move the bag in front of me. Oh. Oops. Okay, and then I'll just plonk it in and then I'll backfill around it. I've grown quite a lot from seed this year compared to normal. I normally grow most of the things from seed, but I just don't normally grow this many things. I say that as I'm potting up stuff that I've not grown from seed, but my point being, like, I don't feel bad about buying this already grown because I've grown a lot from seed. I've tried pretty hard to grow stuff, but the mice have been quite an issue, to be fair. Well, yeah, with the sweet peas, the chard. Oh, I need to water that as well. I'll water it all at the same time once this is all done. But yeah, I think I'm going to do pretty good. I'm going to build some, like what they called, like the cloches, like the polytunnel looking cloches to go over the veggie patches. And I'm going to try and build them to fit exactly on the pallet collars, because that'll stop mice, birds, butterflies, and slugs and snails, hopefully, because it's going to fit quite snug. That's the plan. I bought the wood, I just need to buy the piping. If you guys know what piping is used, let me know, because I don't want to end up spending like 50 quid on like a certain type of pipe that is not the right type of pipe. It's quite expensive. The wood was about 40 quid, which I was expecting. Okay. Okay, let's get these watered and then put them somewhere not too hot. So maybe not in here. Okay, let's put them down here. Need to find somewhere for these as well. Okay, right, let's get watering and then I think we're going to be done for now. Right, okay, I've decided that I'm actually going to put them all in one big tray and I can water all of it in one go. That'll be so much easier. This is just the area that I need to really be careful of slugs and snails. I did go through, because all my carnivorous plants stay pretty damp, I keep them well watered. It's like the perfect environment for slugs and snails to hide. So I've gone through all of them, checked for any slugs and snails. I got rid of a load of snails the other day. So we should be okay, but oh, these are so dry. Anything else that needs watering? Yes. Here we go. Okay, cool. That should be so much better. And then I can just fill up the tray and then take them out once they are fully soaked. Cool. Let me leave that there. Okay, right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I found it really fun. It's been actually nice and relaxing doing this style of video. It's quite like slow paced rather than me trying to rush. Yeah, I'll keep you guys updated of how it grows. if my carrots and parsnips come up and don't get eaten first. What else did we do? The potatoes and the cauliflowers. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope your gardens are doing really well, or your allotments. And yeah, it'd be really cool to hear about yours in the comments. So please do leave a comment and like and subscribe if you are interested in seeing more. I'm going to try and do these videos as often as I can. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a good growing year. So I'm really excited. Cool. I'll leave it there. I'm gonna go rest because I feel like crap. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.